everybody. How's everyone doing? Oh, it's good to see you. Yo, hey everyone. Oh, you look lovely. Welcome indeed. Yo, how's everyone doing? You doing good? It's good to see you. I'm just hanging around in London. Hey, Claudio. Yeah. Oh man, my friends are here. This is lovely. It's just lovely. Garrett's asking, how am I doing? I'm doing good, thank you. Just hanging around. It's been a bit of a crazy 24 hours. Hey, yeah. Because I dropped a song yesterday, as many of you may know, called All I Need. And it's just been crazy. It's just one of those moments where you let the steam off. I've been sitting on that song for a while, and it's just nice that it's yours to keep now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I thought I would just do an Instagram live question answer session about the song, because some of you guys have been asking me questions about it. And so I thought, well, why don't we just ask questions all together and answer them all together, because then it sounds efficient, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's nice to see everyone. Where are you watching from today? That's what I want to know. Where in the world? Be you today? British Columbia. Excellent work. Stupendous. So I guess I've never done a question answer on this before, but if you just go into the question and answer bit thing, I think you can put questions in, right? That's the vibes. Let's see if I can access them. Here we go. Okay. Here's one question here from _T1M0NE. And the question is this: I'm a big fan, innit? And I don't know how to answer that question, but because it's not really a question, if I'm honest. It's not. It's a lovely statement. I really appreciate that a lot, but it's not a question. So let's move on to the next one. Thank you though. That's great. Very good. Okay. Let's see. There's another question here from Gianna, GZAA, and the question is also, can you say hi, Gianna? And I hope I'm saying it right, Gianna or Gianna. Gianna. I hope it's Gianna. Well, hi indeed. It's good to see you. So that's the answer. These are easy. These are easy questions. You can go crazy if you want. You can ask some difficult questions. Yeah, so this is a difficult question. You go, how old are you? Well, I'm 12 years old, but I'm turning 13 quite soon. So yeah, quite excited. Teenagehood approaches. You know, it'd be good. Let's see. Question here is a question from Fermin Moreno Quintana. And the question is, do I like Sufjan Stevens? Sing one of his songs. And I love Sufjan Stevens. And there's a song that goes, Spirit of my silence, I can hear you, and I long to be near you, but I don't know where to begin. Okay, I don't know where to begin, and I lost myself completely. Oh, be near me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Sufjan Stevens, so lovely. So yeah, that's the answer to that question. Maro is here. What's up, Maro? Hey. Okay, more questions time. More questions. Okay, here we go. Here's a question here. It goes like this. It's from Xorwell. It says, can you make some lo-fi vibe harmony? Love your music. Thank you for loving my music. Although I guess that's not really my decision. I was thinking recently how you have no control whatsoever over who you move with your life. You can't choose that. It's quite nice though. So let me see. I'll just make some low harmony real quick. Lo-fi harmony. And so you go like this. Ready? Ooh. 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 Is this lo-fi? The piano's on mute. Okay. All right. Whoa. And then I will stay in second version because it's lo-fi. I don't want to be too resolute. Okay. I hope that answers the question. Well, this is good. This is good fun. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you if you're just joining. My name is... let's see. Here's a question from Isabel Blank. That's your real name. It's an amazing name. The question is, do I still use a loop pedal? And the answer to that question is, well, not really, because I toured the world with a one-man show for a couple of years, and then more recently I've been touring with a band. I've been touring with a 4-piece band and soon to be 5-piece band when the coronavirus isn't rife anymore. And so whereas before the show was built around loops and around click track and around a lot of memorization and a lot of kind of inflexibility and creativity within, and it was loops, a lot of loops. Now it's much more about communication and spontaneity. So that is the truth. And my show with the band uses no click track whatsoever, and everything's just done spontaneously. It's quite a challenge, but it's gorgeous. I do love it. So thank you for that question, and that's the answer. Okay, let's see. There are some great questions. So this is a good one from MJ__Stone, and the question is: are you transforming into Goku? Now, let me just do a quick Google, because I don't know who Goku is. And you have to forgive me, because I feel like I really should know. Oh, here we go. Fictional character. Son Goku, born Kakarot, is a male Saiyan, and the main protagonist of the Dragon Ball meta series. Okay. Well, I can confirm that I'm not, to my knowledge, transforming into Goku. But now I have something to hope for, you know? So that's the answer. Okay, I'm sorry for not knowing the answer to that question before. Okay. Okay, here's a question. Can you please play Overjoyed? You see, I guess Aetius. You know in Harry Potter when it's Accio? Is it Accio or Accio? Let me know in the comments. Overjoyed goes it goes, over time, I've been building my castle of love, just for two. Though you never needed were my reason. Don't know the words. I've come much too far for you now to say that I've got to throw my castle away over dreams I have learned that are perfect come true. I'm so bad at lyrics. You too might be overjoyed over love, over you. Okay. Stevie Wonder, eh? Stevie Wonder is 70 years old as of 2 days ago, and that blew my mind when I heard the news. 70? It's crazy. He wasn't 70 3 days ago. He was 69. Anyway, that's Overjoyed by Stevie Wonder. Thank you for asking that question. I appreciate that. I'd like to encourage some questions related to All I Need. But you don't have to ask questions about All I Need, but that's basically it. Wow, there's some excellent questions here. Here's a question from eclectic_synergy, and I have to commend you on your name. Your name, it's just excellent, really good, well done. So did I make All I Need myself? And the answer to that question is yes, I did. And I also would like to say that this Logic session, which I actually have here to show you, is the biggest Logic session I've ever made. It's bigger than In My Bones, and that was huge. But this Logic session has 646 tracks in it. It's the truth. And if you want proof of the truth, then let me just show you right now. 646, my personal record track numbers. It's a lot of tracks. So this is all I need. It's kind of a colossal session, and this is not even it in its fully fledged form. You see these little folders here. If I open up these folders, then they reveal even more tracks. So you can really go to town. Well, I guess I did go to town. You can visit the town, but yeah, if I press play, then all I need comes out. You see what I'm saying? And so yeah, there's just an awful lot of stuff going on.
Hi.
So there's the lead vocal.
Hi.
There you go.
I love the way that I feel when you put your arms over me.
So, it's just all these different layers. Would you like me to do a, I mean, obviously, it's a cute question answer, not a logic session breakdown, but would you like me to do logic session breakdown for all I need? If you'd like me to, then let me know in the comments, won't you? But yeah, I would quite like to. So this is as a spoiler alert, I might do one next week if you guys are game. But yeah, this logic session was a real mixing extravaganza, and yeah, I thought I had mixing figured out to a point, but then when I did this song and I realised that the chorus, the chorus needed to like bop in sort of comparable ways to songs on the radio and stuff like that. If it were to be, as efficient musically as possible, then I had to do some serious skullduggery. And there's a lot of vocal tracks here. Let's have a listen to these ones.
So I'll be singing in the starlight underneath the moonlight. Oh no.
So that's me, but that's actually me slightly sped up because I recorded that slightly slower so it would sound more feminine. It's one of my favourite tricks.
So I'll be singing in the starlight underneath the moonlight. Oh.
And so that's me in my more traditional vocal range. And then this here is all Mahalia.
So I'll be singing in the starlight underneath the moonlight.
Oh, I love that voice. She has such a wonderful voice. And then
Singing in the starlight underneath the moonlight.
that's her lead vocal. And then let's see down here we've got more vocals.
So I'll be singing in the starlight underneath the.
And they're all doing slightly different things. They all have slightly different EQs on them, So like an EQ is how you shape a sound. So the EQ on these it's a super harsh EQ. And an EQ basically is like the from low to high. This is low and this is high. It's like how you want the sound to be designed. And so this vocal track, for example,
So I'll be singing
has a lot of high frequencies and very little low frequencies. And that's because in my experience, if you have vocal tracks with a lot of low end in them, I learned this from Ben Bloomberg actually. If I have vocal tracks with a lot of low end in them, then it just takes a lot of space away from the rest of the from the rest of the shenanigan, like this kind of shenanigan. Right? And so there's a few things going on here. This is like this kind of pop chug thing, which I do enjoy. I was quite many a head bop in this exact room. This is the room I recorded the song in. This room I did record it all in here, myself, pacing often around the floor, looking out the window. I'm quite familiar with seeing the sun come up in this window at like about 4:30 a.m. The sun starts to come up. And I'm like, cracking on with some mixing, and that's like a nice feeling that I enjoy. Anyway, so here's some piano. And again, that's like has a really shouty piano. Like it has a very. Actually, that's not too insecure actually. But yeah, basically a lot of things have low end taken out of them, so that the low end in tracks such as this can be proper, It can really smash. Got some shakers up here. Like a smack snare, you know what I'm saying? Like a big old smack snare. And all these things need to kind of have space within themselves to sing, because otherwise it just sounds like muck. And so, for example, if I open up this track, what you'll find is a lot of LFO Tool, and many of you guys might be familiar with LFO Tool, but it's a plugin that describes the shape of the track that you're hearing. So, if I turn this off, it's just a flat line. And with the LFO tool on, it's this nice shape. So there's a lot of that. And there's actually 2 LFO tracks on this one. There's one that's doing that and there's one that's doing that. So that there's space for the kick. Making space, right? And then this is just about being like dynamic and choppy. So a lot of attention to detail, like stupendous attention to detail. But then again, I guess that's me. Let's see. For some reason that's not playing. Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh Lord, 'cause I love your smile and it makes me feel alright.
So yeah, a lot of mixing was done. I pulled some all-nighters for this song. I got to tell you, I did. When this song was going to be mastered, I woke up at noon. It's quite early for me, and I worked from noon until 1 p.m. the next day, without stopping mixing. It's crazy. Oh, and I was just going crazy. It's just going stir crazy, but it was worth it because then it sounds good now, or at least it sounds the best I could make it sound. But there's a lot of skullduggery going on in this thing. One piece of skullduggery that I wanted to share with you, which many of you guys have noticed already, which is cool. I've enjoyed seeing you notice this. But there's a difference between this chorus and this chorus. And the difference is one half of a semitone. So this second chorus is actually in, I guess it's in like, G half sharp minor, I suppose, or B half flat major, whereas the first one's in B flat major. That never really goes to B flat, as I know you know. But yeah, so there's a bit of a euphoric, like a subliminal euphoria that you feel in that chorus, where it's just like, because you've never heard this key before. Well, it's unlikely you have. I mean, you probably have, knowing you, but I'd never heard it before, and so it was exciting to voyage into it. You know, if it sort of sounds like untrodden snow. This key, it's just like, whoa, you know. And then when you're moving around and it's just like this absolute, man, I can't wait to tour again. That's what I was thinking about the other day. Because this song live is going to be what life is made for. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to come and see you guys wherever you are in the world and play music with you and for you again. Hearing you guys sing this song, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so special. Anyway, so Logic session breakdown incoming, I hope, with your permission. And the answer to the question, I guess, just to conclude, if you're just joining us, welcome. I did mix all I need myself, and I had some profound advice and some help from Ben Bloomberg, my friend Ben Bloomberg, who many of you know. It's my sort of sonic and tech guru. And we did some listening to the session on Source Connect. He's in Boston and I'm in London. We were listening remotely, and he was making comments and tweaking. It was really, really good fun. So there you have it. And I learned so much about mixing from mixing this song. So much. Anyway, cool. This is really good fun. If you're just joining us, we're doing a Q&A, which is nice. Here we go. Next question. This is great. How many modulations happened in All I Need from Elkin Music? The answer is 17,504 and counting. Okay. Next question. Best starter interface / microphone. Well, until I was 20 years old, I only owned one microphone, and it's an SM. I was just looking to see if it's on the floor, but it's not. It was just an SM58 mic, and I had a little Tascam USB interface, which eventually became like a little Scarlett thing. And I'm such a firm believer that you can do everything with very little stuff. I really had that one mic, and I recorded drums, like drum kit, just overhead, and I recorded vocals and guitars and bits and pieces like sunglasses. And I mean, this room is filled with little trinkets of stuff, and they all sound like interesting things. Some of the things in this room are instruments, but a lot of them are just things. And I loved that mic. It was super loyal to me. So I would recommend really getting your hands on something that works, and then trusting yourself with it, because you know, you can wait forever until you have like a Neumann blah blah blah. But actually, although a Neumann blah 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 is a good microphone, like you can make anything work. I do a lot of recording on my phone, for example. My iPhone, I've got an iPhone 11 Pro. I got it quite recently. It's quite good microphone, and I'd recommend you use your phone mic because it's great. But yeah, if you can, I would get like a Focusrite 2i20, and maybe a couple of C414s, and you'll be cooking in no time. Yeah, or like an SM58, or if you're recording kick drum, maybe like a D112 is nice. Yeah, C414 sounds good in the snare, as it turns out. I have a C414 on this little popcorn snare over here. I recorded a lot of music on this. This was like my second mic. I did like the whole of my vocal arrangements from like age 19 to 21 or whatever on this guy. It sounds great on snare. So I'm kind of a believer in all sorts of different styles, and I really don't think that it's a good idea to wait until you've got the best stuff. But I'll show you quickly around the mics that I currently use, if you're interested, which I guess maybe you are. Anyway, so yeah, I currently sing a lot into this microphone. This is the microphone that I've done the whole of Jesse on, and many collaborators have also used this mic. And this is my Neumann blah blah blah. It's a U87. Modified by Klaus Hein, and it's gorgeous. It's really nice. This is just a nice little bell. I really like this bell a lot. And so yeah, then I have a rack mount here, which runs on Dante, and there's a bunch of Grace preamps and some Avidas too. This is a match pair of Mojaves, and Mojaves are gorgeous. They're very nutritious microphones, and all of the little gentle kind of strums and spoons and things like that. I tend to record that here in stereo, like as one stereo track. And I'll sit in this chair and kind of sit here and record. So like Time to Rest Your Weary Head, for example, was recorded with these two microphones and that mic, and I made them into a little triangle, and I just played that guitar. And that was it. I just kind of sat here and did it. It's kind of as simple as that. And moving over here, I've got my little drums set up, and I've got these Earthworks mics over the top, these little pencil mics, which are fantastic. And then I've got these kind of fairly cheap AKG mics, a set of AKG mics for the kit. I actually don't know what this microphone is called. Oh, PR48 Heil. That's my friend Jose's microphone. He's let me borrow it for my Surdo. Love you, Jose. And then this thing here is my pre-discussed C414. Very ace indeed. And then over here I've got my piano. Well, it's actually my family's piano. And inside, I've got these little Earthworks mics here. That one, and there's another one over there. And so whenever I just go live on the piano or whatever, I tend to roll these because they're gorgeous and they sound very wholesome. On the back of the piano, there's such a Yamaha pickup, which I toured with for a while. I slapped it onto the bottom of my grand piano, and I just kind of liked it. So a lot of the sort of low end of precision comes from that. And obviously that's the only one with no bleed, because traditionally there's bleed in a room like this. This is not a soundproof room. It's just like a real room. It's in my house. I sleep in that room up there. That's my bed, but not like on the other side of the ceiling. And then this here, this is actually a really new microphone. I don't even know exactly what the microphone is called, but it's a beautiful ribbon mic by AEA, and it's really special. And I had a C12 for a while, AKG C12, one of the new ones, one of the VR ones, but that one unfortunately broke. This thing got fried somehow. So this new mic here is a sort of a temporary replacement, but it's been really a good, lovely companion, very gorgeous. So there you go. And some people are asking what model of this Yamaha piano is. I think this is, I did know this once. Let me have a look inside. Oh yeah, it's a U3 AS. So yeah. And I just keep packaging, and I keep the packaging here so that when I'm playing and singing, then it doesn't kind of reflect. My voice doesn't reflect off this hard surface and go into the microphone too badly, because then you get a bunch of weird reflections if you do that. So yeah. And then this is my Wurlitzer, which doesn't have any microphones in it. It's just a Wurlitzer. And basically everything else in this room is like that. Wow, that's really flat. I have to tune that later on. And then I've got my collection of guitars. And some of these were gifts, and some of them I saved up a lot of pocket money for. As a child, but I'm super lucky to have this glorious room, and it really is like the room I've spent the most time in the world by a long way. And not to forget the final microphone, the microphones in the room are these two. They're actually room mics, those two on the top of the door, and they were built for me by my dear friend Brian Mayton, and he's from Boston, and he's a good friend of Ben Bloomberg's, and he literally built those microphones for fun, because he's that kind of guy. And that's my Wi-Fi. See up there, that's my Wi-Fi saying that you can see me. But yeah, so yeah, I tend to roll room mics whenever I'm recording anything, even sometimes vocals. I'll roll if I'm doing vocals, I might sit here and I might sing into this mic, and then I'll roll the room mics and I'll roll the drum microphones too. These guys here. By the way, have you noticed my beautiful Jacob Collier flags? Because I have. They were given to me by a really wonderful fan in Edmonton, Canada, when I was there last year. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'll roll these and I'll roll the room and I'll roll this. And I might even roll these too. So I'm doing like gang vocals. I'll stand in the middle of the room and I'll go, yeah, and then sounds like I've got all these different sounds, you know. Like there's a song I did called Keep in Motion. Well, it's not called Keep in Motion. It's actually called With the Love of My Heart. But there's a song inside that song, With the Love of My Heart. You know, at the end of the song, it's like, keep in motion, keep in motion, keep in motion. Stay unspoken, stay unspoken, stay unspoken. And there's these responses. And I think the first keep in motion is this mic. And then the second one is the drum mics. And then the third one is the room mics. Because they have a different sound, like a different feeling. So yeah. So I like utilising my space, and I'm so lucky to have it. And this window actually opens. The window actually opens into the real world, which is so nice. So on summer afternoons, I can sort of have my window open, hear the birds, which is great. So yeah. So anyway, just to conclude the question, you can make music with basically anything, as I did for a long time, and eventually, eventually you can get to the point where you have different kind of microphones for different occasions, and the only way to really learn that is by doing it yourself, you know, by listening carefully to your sounds and having a strong enough vision that you just like are determined to do whatever you want to do, no matter what you have in your hands. So yeah, what's your address? And so I'm not going to tell you my address. You come searching for me. But yeah, cool. Oh, one last thing about my setup, which I really like. So, well, this is my screen, as you know. This mic is on a boom arm, and I've got this little camera which I do live streams on. It's like my face camera. I also live stream to the government at all times, and then they can sell me things that they think I'll like. Excellent. And so this screen moves around, and the computer actually, which is a Mac Pro, one of the new Mac Pros, that's in the bathroom next door, but it goes through a little cable up there and around and through the wall. So it's like utterly silent in this room at all times. There's no like moving parts or anything, which is a really amazing idea of Ben Bloomberg, who came around and did that for me. And then last but not least, my monitor setup, not that you've even asked me what my monitor setup even is, but my monitor setup is this. These are my Avantones, and those are my B monitors. And crucially, these are my keys, my key threes. That's better. And these are unbelievable speakers. They're so special. And I'm lucky enough to be friends with Key, the company, to the point where they even painted mine red, which I was pretty thrilled about. And they're extraordinary. They're amazing. And I've done all of the last, well, I guess three albums on them. And I'm just sort of going around. But they have, look, someone drew a smiley face. I think maybe it's my sister, or maybe it was Claudio. Claudio, if you're still watching, then yeah. And there's a couple of bass drivers on the back of the speaker, and it just sounds huge. They're very special. I'd highly recommend them. Key 3, like KII kind of thing. Anyway, enough of the gear talk. How you all feeling? It's really nice to see you. Oh, it's 3,700 of you here. It's really rather wild. It's crazy. Well, let's see. Let's keep doing some questions. Here's a question here from Toka Kaskibrev. I hope I pronounced that vaguely correctly. Your harp project? And the answer to that question really is, it's hard to say, but sometimes Wednesday. And yet, you know, desert, and then the thing comes out of the tap and you sort of feel, sometimes it's just porcupine, you know? But it does depend, though. It does depend. Because yeah. Okay. Let's see. There's a question here from Chocho 17_JPEG. What's it like being a JPEG if you're watching? And the question is hi, and in response I have to say, like, I love the way that I feel when you put your arms over me. Am I right? Yes. Okay. This is good. Well, there's a lot of statements as questions, you know, which I like. I like the statements, You know, like here's a statement, for example. Well, actually, this is not a statement. This is Sophie. Sophie's asking, suck teabag, question mark, suck teabag? And I have a teabag here I'll suck, actually. A lot of people don't like this. Oh, are you still there? I think my connection went down for 1 second. I like to eat tea bags. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? So just stay out of my way and let me do whatever I want to do. I appreciate this a lot. Because you get, like, all of the tea. Basically, you make tea in your mouth with your own saliva. Love it. It's really strong flavours. This one is licorice, okay? Delicious. So don't judge me, okay? Okay. Thanks for coming to my tea party. Wow, the number of viewers just went up. Okay, let's see. Well, here's a reasonable enough question from Josie Schmidl. What are you most excited for after social distancing is over? The answer to that question is, well, other than just like going on a hug rampage with all the people I love in the world, I really, really want to go on tour. I really, really want to do shows. Oh, that's just gonna be so good. And I miss my whole crew. They're all over the world. They're across Europe, and many of them are in the USA. It's a long way from here. It's just like, it's crazy that I'm not with them. You know, you psych up for a 10-week trip with like your brothers and sisters, you know, and then it's just snatched away from under your nose. So I'm very excited to go on tour, and I'm also excited to see you guys too and hear you guys sing. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Truly. What are you guys excited for at the end of coronavirus, eh? Let me know. Well, my hair is very anti-gravicious today. So obviously, okay. Here's a question, very validating question from Lunace.20. And the question is, I eat tea bags too, and some of my friends do too, wink. And that is really good to hear, but I don't know how to answer that question other than just to say, like, I feel like I found my kin, you know? Right. My kin. Let's see, it's a question. This is good. S_S George. Did I write All I Need? The answer is yes, I did write that song. And I wrote it on December the 16th, 2019. And I started writing about 4, and by about 1 a.m. on the 17th, I'd finished it. And it was a good feeling. But I hadn't finished the whole kind of imagination of what it was going to feel like on every level. I kind of written the words and the melody and stuff. And the chorus for the song, I have to say, I went back and forth, and it was one of the most difficult choruses I've ever had to write, because I wanted it to feel so effortless. And there's all these choruses I wrote that didn't make the record that I feel very similar, but they're not quite right. So yeah, I was quite pleased when I got there in the end. And then Mahalia came and sang on the song, and it just made me smile extraordinarily broadly. It was wonderful. And Ty Dolla $ign then came and sang his like, yeah, 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 yeah. And that was his idea. He actually wrote that bit of the song himself. Ty Dolla $ign, man, it's just such a legend. So musical, unbelievably musical guy. He's just he's so successful that you almost forget that he's musical, but he's one of a kind, that guy's unbelievable. Super, super cool. So yeah. So basically the answer to the question is yes, I did, but obviously I didn't really write it because I've been listening to people like Stevie Wonder for my whole life, and so Stevie Wonder is sort of like has written enough songs to give me ideas. So I did, but at the same time, like who writes anything? I don't really know. It's a difficult thing to say. Let's see. Let's go into the questions again, shall we? M. Clark, 417. So asking, do I play piano? And the answer is, I do play piano. I don't play it brilliantly, but I play it enough to stretch my own imagination, which is enough to keep me going. And I like exploring music on musical instruments, and I think that the piano is one of the best places to do that, because the piano has harmony inside, which I really like a lot. Harmony is like one of my favourite things ever. And harmony is just about relationships between notes, basically. And the piano, because you can see all the notes, at the same time, it's just a good place to try things out for harmony. So I play piano to that end, and since I've gone on the road, I've gotten better at it because I've had to do it on stage, and that's a good place to get better at doing things, is in front of people on stage. So don't wait to like think you're ready to go on stage. Just do it. Because I didn't know I was ready, and then turns out that I was already a completely human being before I went on stage, and I only realized it afterwards. You know what I mean? So I almost like unlocked my extroversion from being on stage. I'm such an introvert. I'm a huge introvert, but I gained the kind of feedback loop of energy from giving and receiving in the instantaneous feeling when I started touring. It's one of the reasons why I miss it so much now, because if I go like, "Wah!" then no one does anything. But I love it when they go, "Wah!" in response. It's like one of my favourite things ever. So anyway, the answer is I do play the piano. I'm trying to get better all the time, and there's many piano players who are better than me at the piano. But there's only one Jacob, and so I'll do my best at being Jacob at all the things I do, because that's my job, you know. That's definitely my job. So there you go. Thank you for your question. Let's see. Wow, there's some good ones. Well, here's a pretty linear question. What is your vocal range? Philip_trumpeter is asking, what's your vocal range? And it changes all the time. But today, I've got an E flat at the bottom, right? And I've got like a B at the top. It's actually quite high. Yeah. E flat, and B. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. I guess 4. I can 4, 3.5, 4, 3.5, 4. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah. But there you go. I like stretching it. And I started my vocal life experience as a boy singer, like a boy treble, when I was about sort of like 10, 11, 12, 13. I did a lot of singing as a treble. And so I really loved the high notes. And when I was about 15, it was like, and that was really distressing, because it was like, what about, no, I was used to doing. But I remember when my lowest note was, I was like, and now I can go lower than that. But yeah, I kept stretching up because I was just so determined to sing the note into Logic. That's the thing. It was like, I've got to sing the top G. I've got to do it. And I remember I did an arrangement of Isn't She Lovely back in 2012. It's one of my first ever vocal arrangements when I was just a baby. And the last note is a G, high G. And it was so high for me at that time. And I remember being like, I had like two tries, and then I couldn't do any more. And now I can go higher than a G, because I've just done more singing, I suppose. And I'm also older, so I've gotten, it's less recent than my voice broke. But yeah. So I keep on trying to expand it as much as I can, because I love singing low and high. So that's the answer to the question. Thank you for the question. Well, this is good fun. Thanks for being here. Here's a question here from Nick.War21. The question is, want to be friends? And the answer to that, quite frankly, is yes, I do. And so let's do it. Let's get started. So I guess this is us getting started. We're already getting started. Well, okay, here's a question here from Hafida Biu, if that's how you pronounce it. I hope it is. Do you learn all instrumental simultaneously at once? ? How to manage it? ? Well, I guess I have learned instruments at once to a point. I mean, I remember getting this double bass when I was about 14 years old. It was like my first bass instrument, and I remember thinking, well, this can't be that hard. And I didn't know anything about the bass at all, and I couldn't even make a sound on it. But I remember thinking, this can't be that hard, because I know what the bass sounds like. Like I know I can go. I know what bass line. I know some bass lines. I know how the bass feels in my body, and all I need to do is just to get it in my hands, And so I would stand with the bass, and I would say, well, the first thing to do is to figure out where the notes are that I can sing. But it's basically about singing. So straight, flat, right. So, like, I figured out that there's a fourth between each string, right? And that must mean that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 notes between each string. and then you figure out how to do fifths, right? And these are things I knew in my head, but I didn't know on the instrument. And you play a chromatic scale, find where all the notes are, and then obviously you can play the notes in between as well if you want to, which I did. And a good friend of mine whose name is Darren Taylor, a friend of mine, he taught me how to do this, like with the fourth. You put the fourth finger here, and that's a tone, and that was really helpful to know, because otherwise it was just I was just doing this with one finger. But there's like different positions. There's this position and there's half position, right? And I remember another one of my friends at one point mentioned that the bass is not played like this. It's played on the side like this, so it should be able to kind of balance on your body to a point, and then that became easier. But what I found really with bass is that I learned the most about playing the bass when I was in a band when I was about 14 or 16, 14 to 16, with my mum and two of her friends, and it was like a tango folk klezmer band called Scaramouche, and we did gigs a lot, and I would sing and I would play bass on the gig, and that's really where I learned the most about bass, because I had to learn. It's the same thing as playing piano. It's like if you put yourself in a situation where you have to deliver something, then you just deliver it. It's kind of easy. And I'm not a brilliant bass player, but I know about music enough for the music to spill out over the bass. And when I say I know about music, I don't mean musical theory at all. I sort of mean like how it feels. And you learn from like a sort of trial and error. It's a sort of glorified impatience that I've learned musical instruments with, really, because I'm a massive perfectionist about gesture, but I'm not a perfectionist about technique. And so as long as I get exactly the gesture that I want, I don't mind how I get it. I can get it in whatever way I want to. But it has to feel right. It always has to feel right. And so a lot of people, for good reason, will criticise my technique on various instruments, and that's fine. And I appreciate sort of when I can learn about new things with technique. But with the bass, for example, it's really about getting to feel like a voice. Because once an instrument feels like a voice, then it feels like as natural as it gets, and that's cool. And instruments teach you things as well about music. Because I wouldn't have necessarily known what it meant to hammer on, what that actually felt like. I knew what it sounded like, I didn't know what it felt like, and I couldn't articulate it until I learned how to do it. Same as pull-offs, right? And I didn't know it was called a pull-off until fairly recently. But all instruments are the same. They all speak in the same language. They're just different dialects of the same language. And so every instrument is a voice, and every instrument is a drum, and every instrument is harmony too. And you kind of just need to visualize it and learn how to speak the language. Like the harpeggi is a great example of that, because I got this instrument called the harpeggi fairly recently. This is my first one. Is this one here, and I'll show you how it works. It's a really nice beastie. It's a really nice beastie. It's like this, and it will be quite quiet because it's not plugged in right now. But basically, it's a tone or a whole step between every string. And the first time I tried it, I thought, whoa, that's crazy. I'm going to have to go up like this every time I want to play a melody. But then I learned that you have to go across the string and sometimes up, right? And that process of learning how to do voicings like a major triad, it's kind of out of tune right now. But that shape is like completely unfamiliar for me. I wasn't aware of the shape on any other instrument. And so it made me think about music differently. Like on the harpeggi, if you go from here to there, super out of tune right now, but right, that change there, which is it's kind of like E major to A flat major. That's so easy on the harpeggi, and so when you're playing the harpeggi, it makes you hear things differently. And so like I'm not starting from scratch when I learn the harpeggi about like what notes work. It's just where to find them, And so I think that the more you know about music, and again when I say no, I just mean like the more familiar you are with the gestures of it all, the nicer it feels to pick up a new instrument and be like, okay, let me just figure out where I got to, and where I can reach the things that make sense. And once something makes sense, even if it's just a single thing, you can dig it, you can get it into a pocket, you know. And once you're in a pocket, you're flying. So I think for me, I was so determined to make music that I made it on everything, including, like at school, I would just smash my desks, leaving horrendous holes in my splintering gaps in my school desk. And I would do like I would have like kick is this, and then snare, right, and ghost notes. I got way better at doing this than I got at playing drums. I'm still better at that than playing drums. Because playing drums is, I know I'm just not that good at it really. Like I can do it, but I'm way better at understanding it and speaking it. Like if I could play that, what I hear in my head, I'd be killing drummer, but I can't. So I'm not that killing a drummer, but I'm a good rhythmic being, and that's a good thing to aim for. And I express rhythm the way that I appreciate it, and it's nice to express things as you appreciate them, if that makes any sense. I hope that's answered your question, but yeah, it's a kind of, it's a sort of extended trial and error process of listening, accepting, rejecting, kind of, and consistently stretching. I'm always quite impatient with concepts. I always want them to go further than they actually go, like harmony, for example. So I'll make up scales and I'll make up chords and I'll try and figure out how to make something make sense, because a lot of harmony is about context. It's not about a horizontal moment, it's about a vertical series, you know. So you have a chord like, I don't know, it might have a chord like this, right? Crazy chord. Maybe it's over D. And you might say, I don't know how to understand this chord. It's like, great, that means that it's going to teach you something about music. That one's even more crazy. And then you figure it out. Well, okay, if that's a D7 chord, then that could have a 9 and a flat 9 in it. But a lot of this kind of conversations I had with myself weren't even about numbers and letters at first. It was more just about, I know what that sound is, and I know what this sound is, and this sound is, right? And things have momentum. So if you play this, that has momentum to go there, and that has momentum to go there. Just as that has momentum to go there. That kind of wants to go down, and these might go down, or they could go up, or a mixture. And then the more notes you add, the more kind of responsibility you have to make them all make sense. And I spent a lot of time just like figuring out shapes, you know, like that shape, right? It's a cool shape, or just this shape. Rearranging it. And making music out of these shapes. It's like it's really fun to just mess around with shapes. And sing as well. Boo, boo. Right? And just smudging as well. Because on the piano you can play lots of notes at once, and they all sound nice together. This is one of the reasons why I like the piano, because it's really easy to play clusters. I spent a lot of years and hours doing this, like playing all the notes at the same time. And then I realized that it's actually more interesting, rather than playing every note at once, it's more interesting just to play some of the notes. And then let them find their way. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of sort of careful consideration. And once you have a language, it's kind of just about being yourself with it. Figuring out what you like and what you don't like, and just kind of rejecting nothing. So I don't like rejecting things a lot. I'll accept almost everything in music, and then I'll just make decisions based on it. So I hope that answered the question. That was an epic answer to an epic length answer to a humble question. But thank you for asking it. I super appreciate it. All right, keep on asking these questions. This is great fun. So, here's a question. This is a difficult one. Man, I don't even know where to begin here. But Noah Shreve, he's asking, did Adam and Eve have belly buttons? And I should probably ask this belly button the answer. This is my favourite belly button. And I took this belly button from the wild, where belly buttons live, which is on the edge of everything. There's a curve, like a ripple around the edge of things. There's a line, and belly buttons are found there. And some of them are very ancient. So maybe even Adam and Eve's belly buttons are still there. But this one here is a very wise, and so in some ways I'll never know the answer because I know that the answers lie away. But I think the fact that I have this sort of ancient belly button in my possession gives hope for this. But I'd encourage you to find out for yourself, because questions are questions like this are important questions, but they're less important when they've been answered, you know. So try and keep it unanswered whenever you can. Cool. Okay. So let's do a few more questions here. There's a great question here from The Chosen One. Question is, ever had bugs on your room? How often do you clean it? Now, this is an important question. I'm the kind of person who forgets to eat and sleep. So cleaning is often at the bottom of my list. Don't often clean my room, if I'm honest. My room cleans me. That's what's going on here. I'm clean in the room. But the room itself, I have to say, though, it's not doing too badly. I mean, look, this nice clean floor. And my sun hat. It's not doing too badly. I mean, it's gotten dirtier than this. But, you know, one thing I like to do, and I've liked to do in quarantine, is just to hoover my house. We say hoover here in the UK, but many of you Americans might say vacuum. But yeah, we hoover. And when I hoover, I listen to music, and it's a lovely, lovely experience. Last time I hoovered, which was on probably about 4 days ago, I listened to Mahalia's new EP, the Isolation Tapes. Have you guys checked it out? Because Mahalia's, who obviously is on All I Need, she's a cracking singer. She's such a good vocalist. And I've loved her music for many years, but the Isolation EPs, it's so good. It's like the best I've ever heard her sound, really, truly. So check it out. But yeah, I hoover my house. And so I do sometimes come in this room, but often the door's closed because like it's my own little world in here, so I don't often bring the like, it's quite unmusical. That said, could sample it, so I'll keep you posted. Oh, and have I ever had bugs in my room or on? I don't know about on. I suppose there have been bugs sitting on my floor upstairs, which means it's been on. But as far as in is concerned, yeah, when I open the window, I have bugs in here. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's cool. You know, it's fine. I'm down with it. I can get jiggy with bugs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, cool. This is great. Okay, here we go. Max Copus. Question reads thus: what's your favourite kind of honey? Well, I like honey which crystallizes, but not to an extreme level. I think my favourite kind of honey is like honey that's naturally runny, as in it's so a thick liquid, but then it has like these sort of like crystals that are locked inside that you have to dig out with your mouth, or you can fingers and stuff. When I was about 13 or 14 years old, I was extremely into honey, like in a massive way, and I used to have like a spoonful of honey every day from 7 pots of honey. So super. I don't know how you knew I was like a massive honey nerd, but I mean, obviously Manuka is why I'm here, basically. Like, yeah, Manuka honey is classic. And I was in New Zealand last year on tour, and it was really good fun. I went to Auckland, I went to Wellington too. And I was hoping I'd sort of return with a vat of Manuka honey. I didn't really get to do that in the end, but I'd highly recommend honey in general. It's good. And bees, I highly recommend bees as well. Bees is good. Bees is very good. Very good indeed. Bees. Oh, I switched my camera over by accident. Oh, you see my logic section. We're going to keep answering some questions here. Please stick around. Wow. Here's a question here from Alex Hassig again. So, or maybe it's Alex Hassig again. I can't tell. Did I like Hermione ending up with Ron? Felt like the logical conclusion to the puzzle. I mean, no one really knew until it happened. Ginny is the one, but you know, Hermione. It would have been weird if it was Hermione and Harry, or Ron and Harry. Might have been strange. So I sort of feel like potentially it was the best fit. You know, I was like a Ginny stan for a long, long time. I was like, she's got it. She's got all the marbles. You know, I was very excited. So it's good. It's good when they get together in book 6. It's good, very good. Yeah, Harry Potter. I was a huge Harry Potter fan. Was and still am. I can quote bits from books and stuff like that. Let's see. Jacob here has asked a question. Jacob Basige. I bet that's mispronounced so often. I bet it pisses you off, but I'm sorry. But I like your first name a lot. I really approve of it. Welcome. And the question is, when do you think Jesse 103 will come out? Asking from a fellow Jacob. And it'll be out this summer, I'm pleased to announce. It'll be out this summer for sure. It was going to come out sooner, but then quarantine happened, and I figured, well, let's enjoy it, Let's enjoy it blow by blow. And so there's probably going to be a couple singles before the album fully drops. But there's some special things coming up. It's really exciting. I've been working super hard, and this Volume 3 zone is super colourful and super special. And I'm so stoked to share it with you. It's great that All I Need is out. I kind of can't believe it because it's just been not out for a long, long time. And I was out, and you can listen to it. It's wonderful. So yeah, summertime, just like stay tuned. And yeah, coming soon, for real. It's going to be good. It's going to be very good. Okay. More questions. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Crick or Crick _ is asking about books. Now, I haven't read a lot of books, but I do like the book which is called The Inner Game of Tennis, which I often recommend to people. It's about learning. It's about two different kinds of self 1 and self 2, and about how you learn and how you teach. And a lot of it's about children and intuition. I find both of those things very interesting, because music is basically a language, and so learning language is very equivalent to how children learn language. A lot of which is about lack of judgment and sort of fearlessness and tangibility and things like this. But The Inner Game of Tennis is a great book. It's by Timothy Galway, and it describes the learning of tennis and how if you learn it from one perspective, the self 1 perspective, it's the ego in charge, and the ego thinks there's things to be achieved. And if you learn it from self 2, as described, or like the inner child, it's like the child knows what to do already. And so a lot of the learning is about letting the child make that decision, So I'd recommend that one. I also like Mr. Strong, which is a Mr. Men book. The Mr. Men books? Little Miss, Mr. Men, by Roger Hargreaves. So good. I'm into it. But I think my favourite trilogy of all time is His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. That's so good. And there's an amazing new series that's come out of that. The first series was aired. Oh, it's so good. It's sort of multi-dimensional, kind of the fabric of worlds, and the characters are just so unbelievably golden and engaging. I really recommend His Dark Materials. That's like Northern Lights, or The Golden Compass, and Subtle Knife and Amber Spyglass. Get with it. It's a good one. Okay, cool. Wow, it's got some good varied questions right here, you guys. This is excellent work on everyone's part. Let me see. Oh, there's actually a lot. There's a lot of questions here. Let me see. Last movie I saw. It's a very reasonable question. It's the kind of question that I would ask someone that I knew a little bit. And the answer to the question is, I saw, for the first time ever, I saw Good Will Hunting. Oh, it's incredible. And I didn't realise, but Matt Damon wrote that film. He wrote the screenplay with Ben Affleck, his friend. And they were like 20 years old when they wrote it. And it's just so cool that they did that. And I just thought it was an extraordinary film on so many levels. Robin Williams just being ultra special. Would recommend, but I'm sure many of you have seen that film. I'm quite behind on films. I don't have a lot of time to watch films, and I wish I had more. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so there you go. That's the last film I saw. It's such a good one. Such a good one. Let's see. Here's a good one from Hannah Kellerman _ Kellerman _ Tell me, how do you deal with bad moods? It's tricky, isn't it? Bad moods. I think what I'm learning is that you deal with them just by embracing them and accepting them as they are. Because a lot of times when I was younger, I would try and change my bad mood into a good mood. Because I thought the good moods were better than bad moods. Turns out they're not. They're not better. They're just different. And so if you're having a bad mood, it's quite nice to enjoy it. Sometimes you try and have an even worse mood, and sometimes that makes you feel happy and makes you laugh. You see, like, I'm in a bad mood, I'm going to be in an even worse mood, and it's going to be really, really bad, and then it inverts your mood. I do that sometimes with composing. If I'm trying to make something honest, then I'll try and make the most dishonest thing I possibly can. Sometimes it makes me be honest after all. It's a fascinating exercise if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, in terms of moods, everyone has them. The idea that life is a straight line is just not true. And God forbid ever life being a straight line, because it's just so undynamic if it's a straight line. So enjoy the back and forth of it all. Enjoy the tension in the bad moments, because tension is friction, and friction makes you move. I really like thinking about it like that. And if you have friction with something and you're rubbing against it and it's painful and there's resistance and you're not sure how to move, but it's gradually changing, then that's often that's the beginning of growing. I've only realised that recently. I think I used to think, well, I'll just wait till the bad mood goes away, but bad moods teach you way more than good moods a lot of the time about yourself. So embrace them and enjoy them, and yeah, that's what I'd say. Cool. Let's see. Max _ Basco. Can you hit the dab? I assume by hit the dab you mean dab, by which I mean, and I will now leave the question. I hope I did that right. I recently learned about dabbing, and now I'm a dabber, I suppose. Yeah. This is good. What's senpai? What is this? I see it everywhere. Tell me, wise fans and friends. E.VAAACER E Vasereyo is asking, notice me senpai. Is this another mythical kind of cartoon thing? Let me Google it. Senpai is an upperclassman who mentors an underclassman. Oh, I see. Or kohai. The term is used most often in English in reference to anime and manga. Wasn't too far. And originates from Japanese, earlier colleague. That's the translation. Used most broadly to mean teacher or master. That now makes sense. I see that the view count is going up in my ignorance. This is good. Thank you for calling me senpai. Feel really overwhelmed and proud that you've said that. And I suppose I've also now answered your question by indeed noticing you. So, in return, notice me, senpai, or something. Yeah. There you go. So now I've learned something new. That's a question of mine that I've been waiting to answer for a long time. Notice me, senpai. Yeah, okay. Senpai is master. No, that's not a question. Right. Here's a question. Alicia _Sai_. Do you smoke weed? The answer is no, I don't. I've never smoked weed in my life. And I'm down with it. I think it's fine I'm fine without it. I mean, I'm not sort of averse to weed smokers or even weed in general. But, man, you guys should spend some time in my brain. It's pretty crazy. I'm not sure it would be improved by marijuana. Though I suppose I don't know until I try it. But, yeah, it's a pretty vivid landscape. So I don't know if I want to necessarily change it. I'd rather kind of use it naturally. And I find that when I use it naturally and I achieve the kind of high, it's just so crazy. And also I'm completely present in it, and I like that a lot. So I'm a sort of believer that you can achieve everything that drugs can do. You can achieve by humanity alone. I really think that's true. But please go ahead and do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to stop you doing anything. Just talking about myself here. Cool. Nice. Wow, the view count jumped up 200 there. I'm sure it should about to jump up thousands now. _Zuzi _ opinion on Crocs. I mean, if you're a Jacob Collier, I am Jacob. If you're a Jacob Collier fan or follower or just noticer, or if you're aware of Jacob Collier and you're not aware of his Crocs fetish, frenzy, then I don't know what you've been doing. I'm such a Crocs guy. No Crocs and no Crocs. I've got Crocs for days, man. Crocs for days, fam. So many Crocs. I love it. Got fur-lined tie-dye Crocs. That's what I got. Yeah. So it's all about breathability. All about. I mean, obviously the fur-lined ones aren't really waterproof, but you can go in the sea if you want, or the bath. But I'm down with Crocs, big time. And if you're going to hate on Crocs, hate on me too. You know, like we're together. And Crocs, if you're watching, then I want some. I want to hook up right here. I'm ready for you. I've got some Crocs in the pipeline. Croc ideas. You know, thinking about it, all sorts of stuff. So basically, just get with it, man. It's yes, holes, shoes with holes. Related question. Jay Fashton's asking, why wear shoes? And I would almost go so far as to say, why wear shoes at all? And the answer to the question is, well, most of the time you would wear shoes in scenarios where you would be damaged if you didn't, like splintery wooden stages or airport a lot of the time with hygiene. I sometimes wear Crocs in those scenarios, but on stage I never wear, did I say Crocs? I meant shoes. On stage I don't wear shoes on stage very often because I like feet on stage feeling in my body. I like this feeling a lot. So I'd recommend a lack of shoes. It's a grounding thing. It makes you feel like you're connecting to the ground because your feet are indeed. Also, I'm really, really good at sliding. Like I can run and, you know, I'm really good at that. And there's a hall outside my room there, which I've been sliding for 25 years. And I'm really good at that. And so shoes is like anti-sliding, man. You have to wear socks. Well, feet is also difficult to slide with, but socks, especially like thin socks, silk. Oh, it's good. So basically, I'm not really a shoes advocate very much unless it's Crocs, because Crocs is just such a, you know, that's just a curvaceous. I just can't get enough. So there you go. Yeah. Yeah. This is good. This is very good. Let me see if I can get back into the questions thing. Here we go. Here's a question here from Ali. Ali M. Brett, music. What is your middle name? Smiley face with another bracket, which is even more smiley. And I'm sorry to disappoint this enthusiasm, but I actually don't have a middle name. My name is Jacob Collier, and that's actually my name. And that's the end of it, I'm afraid. And it's the beginning of it too, and it's the middle. But you can make up a middle name for me if you'd like to. It's up to you. A lot of people in the chat are asking whether I know who Hermeto Pascoal is. Of course, Hermeto Pascoal is one of the great Brazilian musicians of all time. And if you don't know Hermeto Pascoal, then I'd highly recommend his presence in your life. And I'll play you a quick Hermeto Pascoal song, which I really like a lot. And it goes like this. Now let's do it faster. One more time, even faster. Oh. That's the end of the song. It's called like Zot Cavaco, just right there, by Hermeto Pascoal and his incredible musical partner Alina Morina. Such a good tune. So yeah, trust me, I'm hip to the Hermeto. Incredible multi-instrumentalist, ridiculous dude. So sick. Go and learn that. It's good practice. Crazy intervals and good for tuning and stuff. I don't think I've ever sung that before, so that now I know that I need to listen to it again. Cool. Right. More questions. Keep them coming, guys. Keep the questions coming. It's great to have so many questions. Nate Waterbury is asking. His question just reads quite simple, quite short questions to the point. Question is this: sock, and the answer to the question is sock. That's the answer. Let's put it back on. Okay. Great. All right. Excellent. Okay. More questions. Let's have it. That was a good one. Thank you for that. Yes. Wow. That's some astounding questions here. There's a good one here from dejlove._. And the question is, me? And the answer is yes. Yes, you. That's the answer. That's it. You have to, yes. Here's another question. A. Bob. That's the answer to that one. Let's see. Dor Silao saying do the thing. And I'm just thinking about what the thing is. Okay. Wow. I haven't done the thing in a while and I'm a little bit out of practice, so please bear with me, okay? Yeah. There's a lot of difficult questions here. Akil_Sunny7 is asking, will you come to my birthday party? And really that is dependent on a few factors. One is, when is your birthday party? When indeed is it? And then, of course, is the question, well, where indeed is it? And is it worth coming to? I mean, I assume it is because you've invited me, but also, how old are you? And is it actually your birthday, or are you just throwing a party and you're just trying to have an excuse for it? But if it's your birthday, really your birthday, then happy birthday. I'll be honest. If your birthday party is in the next, week or two, I probably won't be attending because I have some previous engagements. But I'm really appreciative that you've asked me to come, and hopefully, if it's later down the line, I should be able to come. That would be great. I hope that I can come. I hope that there's some good food, and I think this would be good. Thank you for the question. Yes, this is a difficult one here. Cherry_Cherilyn. And the question is parallel universe. And I do have an answer to the question, but I have to find it on my computer. And I hope that's understood. Help the City is asking sprinklers or manual watering. Well, I'm a huge fan of the way sprinklers sound. So if you're asking me which one would I record, it's got to be sprinklers. And I have a really good sprinkler sample. And the sprinkler sample is in the same folder as this other thing, I believe. Actually, it might be in a different folder. It's such a good vibe, you know? Let me see if I have any handy. That's a good vibe. There's a song on Jesse Volume 3 in which I venture into the land of dubstep production for the first time ever. I loved this process. It was really cool. And it's like a kick drum with sprinklers on the top, and that was really cool. And so I like sprinklers because they're like regular and they pan, so that's cool. Manual watering, on the other hand, is the only way I water my actual garden, and my whole family would agree with me without a shadow of a doubt. Manual watering is the way to go, so I'd encourage you to do that. There's something very therapeutic about gravity and not having to worry about it. Well, sometimes I do worry about it, actually, but nice, you know. Yes. Oh, man. Chris Tiny EU is asking, a song you listen to when sad? ? And the answer to the question changes all the time, because sadness is not a primary colour emotion. Sadness is usually a compound emotion. All the best emotions are compound emotions, like happiness is another one. And I'm always very confused and surprised and interested when people say play happy or play sad, chords or music, because I think that what makes something feel one way might be that it's in fact the opposite way. And I often find that inverting a process is the best way of achieving a result. And so a song, for example, like Restacks, classic, Bon Iver, Bon Iver's classic sad music, traditionally speaking. It's a beautiful major song, right? It's like it goes like right? Oh, so nice. I love that. Plagal cadence. I don't know the words. Does anyone know any of the words? Such a tune. So, in answer to the question, that's actually that's a specifically good song for heartbreak. I have like scenarios in my life as Heartbroken Jacob, where Restacks by Bon Iver has saved the day. You know, it's a gorgeous song. It's just it's so major. So the whole thing of like minor is sad and it's just complete. I think it's just like completely false, because major can be some of the saddest music, and minor can be so triumphant, so triumphant. So yeah. Bon Iver is the vibe, big time. I'd recommend it. You know what I'm saying? Very much. And there's lots of other sorts of single. People saying single. I'm not gonna tell you. So here's a good question. Help the City again. Welcome back to the podium. You are a frog. I really appreciate that. And the answer is you know. I mean, it changes from time to time, but a lot of the time, the answer is that's the answer. And if you're a frog, you know what I just said. It's just a whole thing, you know? It's a whole thing. Oh, this is good. This is very cathartic for me. This is great. Very, very good. Let's see. More keep the questions coming, you guys. Johnston.Coromandel is asking, what were you like growing up? Well, you should ask someone who was with me while I was growing up, because I don't really know. I've always kind of been the same from my perspective for always. I've always been energetic, and I've always been thoughtful, and I've always had emotional awareness of people, and sometimes wanted to rescue them, which is not always a good thing. And I've always been very creative, and I've always wanted to break the rules, but never necessarily to offend, more just to experiment. And I've always liked making music and being rhythmic. And I always liked being weird. I was always quite weird as well, doing odd things. I've always liked symmetry and organising things into piles that make sense. And I've always enjoyed memorising things that I find important, and things being balanced, and language. I've always liked language. But I used to be very much more introverted than I am now, in the sense that I don't think I'd found my kind of essence of energy. Like I was my essence, I couldn't help it, but the essence of how energy comes out, I think I've learned how to do that most recently. And I'm very, very grateful. As I mentioned before, it's like touring really unlocked a lot of things for me in my brain, because it was like the feeling of being on stage. It's like a sort of accelerated realization of who are you really? Like, who actually are you, Jacob? And I used to think that you had to pretend when you went on stage to be something big, and introverts on stage meant that like you had to be extroverted. It's not the case at all. In fact, some of my favorite moments on stage are the most introverted moments of all time, but I think that there's a difference between extroversion and confidence. And I think that confidence and willingness to operate within your own power is something that is extraordinarily important and very underspoken about. TikTok, for example, I was just thinking about this the other day. A lot of the TikTok generation psychology is based on self-deprecation, right? It will be kind of like, I'm such a loser, and then like people who think that they are losers watch it and think it's funny and relate to it, stuff like that. It's interesting, but I don't like it that much. I like it sometimes, but I like people who are able to be not a loser and know it, and because no one's really a loser. That's the thing. I mean, there are some losers, but most people who are like, I'm a loser, are actually just really, really powerful human beings with massive amounts of potential. But they think that the most tidy and considerate thing and socially kind of acceptable thing is to make themselves smaller so as to appear safe for people. And I don't like that too much. I think it's very, I mean, there's no right or wrong way to be, but I really think it's important for people to just like really shine. And sometimes shining is inward, and a lot of my shining, even when I was very young, was very inner, like inner shining and understanding the inner and shining inside. And then after a while it gets so glistening that you have to let it out. And so now I have to let it out more. I'm more comfortable letting it out than I used to be, though I still need to recharge on my own a lot of the time, because I'm really an introvert and I draw energy from within, as many people in the world do. And introverts are the most powerful people in the face of the earth. It's the truth. Introverts hold all the power. Like, you know about yin and yang? You know, this ancient Chinese idea of yin and yang, where yin is like is within and yang is without. And traditionally yin is very feminine and yang is very, very masculine. And it's an amazing idea to think about just these two forces. One thing pulls and one thing pushes. One thing rises, one thing falls. The whole world is like this. It cycles things on many, many levels, whether it's like life and death, or the ocean, or everything. Love. It all comes up and comes down, and accepting the tide is wonderful. And it's like part of the whole magic of the thing. But I think that people who draw power from things that are unspoken often have more to say than people who have their power that they draw from things which are spoken. And that's cool. And don't underestimate people who don't speak a lot, because people who don't speak a lot they're not thinking stuff that's worth things. And so I like representing the introverts on occasions where I'm told to represent something, which is maybe not often, but I often feel like it is. And yeah, it's important to live inside your own world, and then to be confident with sharing that can take time, but you'll do it, and it will feel really good. It will feel really cathartic to do it, because it's like what life is all about. So I guess just to conclude my answer, I think I was more inner as a child, but I was always a bit of a scamp. I always liked the madness, the edge of the madness, but I liked madness that felt really warm and really organized and really well intended, and like it was always on the edge of understanding itself. That's what I was drawn to, and people like that really inspired me. People who were confident in being on the edge of themselves. I loved that, really did. I still do, and so I try to live that one out as much as I can, being on the edge of myself and sort of like being willing to open it out to people and see what happens. It's a fascinating exercise. So that's the answer to that question. This is I'm loving the comments as well. Just going past, it's really nice, really nice to see. There's a lot of questions. You guys are great. Let's see. A lot of people doing repeated questions, the same question multiple times. Here's right. Sebastian.Wunsty, grow the stash. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, I'm not like a hirsute man, because I'm quarter Chinese. At least I don't know that that's actually the cause, but I have like very little hair on my arms, for example. Same as my mum, because she's half Chinese. And I think that might maybe the reason why I'm not like a big Santa guy. But I don't mind it. Like, this is a good length, and then after a while it gets out of hand, you know what I'm saying? And then I have to go. Pre in the Olympians is asking, any degrees? 20 degrees? 20 degrees is reasonable enough, right? 20. Okay. Hannah_Kellerman. Oh, again, I think I've met you before today. I can't think of anything. You make me hold my breath. Wow. Thank you. Though I think you can exhale now, because don't worry, there's nothing on the other end of this. It's just me. That's it. That's all there is. So don't. It's now. It's good. It's good. You guys do make it hard to choose. Here's a very reasonable one. David is asking, what's your favourite animal? And then my answer to this question is, my favourite animal is the ring-tailed lemur. You know this animal, the ring-tailed lemur? I'll show you some pics. Oh, man. Ring-tailed lemur. Here we go. You ready for this? Ring-tailed lemur. Gorgeous. Oh, it's the tail. Like, it's the tail. That's what gets me. There's something about, and when I say ring-tailed lemur, I don't mean the ones in Madagascar, the movie. I don't mean that. I mean real ring-tailed lemurs in the wild that are not pets and humans do not own. I mean like proper ring-tailed. I'm so down. I'm so down with the ring-tailed lemurs. It's like that's kin right there. It's my whole scene. So there you go. That's my favorite animal today. I also like other animals too. So ask again tomorrow. I was just looking at this question here. Is the stuffed animal an alligator or a crocodile? Derek is asking. And the stuffed animal is, first of all, it's real. And second of all, it's not in the room right now, but it's a crocodile. Jethro, crocodile. I bought him in an Australian duty-free airport. Very good companion. He was on stage with me at the Sydney Opera House last year. It was good times. That was good. Yeah. Right. Longest you've been on a plane? Melissa is asking this. My longest flight ever, I believe, was from Paris to Reunion Island, La Réunion, and it was in 2018, I believe, or 2017. 2018, I think. And La Réunion, if you've never been there, it's just incredible place, absolutely amazing. And but yeah, you have to get there from Paris, and it was like 18 hours on the plane. That was rough, but it was good. I like flying. I like some parts of flying. I like the bit of flying when no one can call you up, and you just get to go in your own world and design stuff. And a lot of my favorite ideas I've had on planes, and even made sometimes in Logic on planes. I've even mixed songs that you've probably heard on planes. And I like doing that. Yeah. Oh, Ethan's asking, how tall are you? I'm 5'11" and a half. That's the answer to the question. So basically 6 foot, but not quite, which I quite like. There's always some growing to be done. Yeah. More questions. Ooh. Playoff_PL. Talk about the Aeolians. The Aeolians is a choir, and the choir is from Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama. The Aeolians of Oakwood University. My goodness me, they are special people. Are you in them? Playoff_PL. Because if so, you're the man. Or have you ever been in them? They're a student body. They sing chords and they sing unbelievable music, ranging from like classical rap to music from the church and everything in between. They just do everything. And it was probably like one of the best days of my whole life was recording with them for Jesse Volume 4, and a song you've never heard, but you will soon hear, I should think. And they're 45 undergrads with more power in their communal voice than I've ever heard in any room ever. They're extraordinary. And I love them to bits. And their conductor, Jason Max Ferdinand, it's an unbelievable human being. And I'm so grateful for the Aeolians. And I can't wait for you to hear the music. I truly can't. It's going to be very, very cool. So there you go. Also, Aeolian is a mode, but I don't know if you need to know knowledge about modes yet. That's just the truth of things. But feel free to continue to ask me questions if you would like to. Here's one. Who do you say is your influence? Well, there's a man who turned 70 2 days ago. His name is Stevie Wonder. Steveland Morris, that's how he was born. Stevie Wonder is, without a shadow of a doubt, my number one inspiration. And he's an extraordinary musician. And if you don't know him, I don't know what you are or what your name is. And I don't want to know, because Stevie Wonder he's the G right there. That's my man. And I didn't realise that it was him playing all the instruments on his songs until recently. I say within the last 10 years. But I was a fan of that for his for 15 years before that. All I knew was that it felt so coherent and so beautiful and so flexible and kind of alive and joyous and so one person's DNA. And then later it was like, yeah, that's Stevie on the drums. Yeah, that's Stevie on the synthesizer. Yeah, that's Stevie on the piano. Yeah, that's Stevie on the Rose. And it was like, that's what it was like. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And that's really inspiring. And I could maybe do something like that too, even though I'm never going to be Stevie Wonder. And so he was like a massive giant. It still is a giant. I can't believe he's 70 years old, because he's one of those big giant people who lives forever and ever and ever. But I have other influences too, like Bartok and Bjork and Beck and Bob Dylan and Bob McFerrin and Earth, Wind & Fire and Joni Mitchell and Thomas Addis and Kendrick Lamar and people like that. I have lots of influences. I think everybody does. That's the honest thing. Here's an interesting question from Helena. Have you got tea to spill? Yes. I have tea to spill. And I'm going to spill it into my hand. Okay? There you go. Oh no, it went on the keyboard. Should have known that was going to happen. Let me clean up with this t-shirt here. Rogue t-shirt. So I spilt it. I spilt the tea. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it yet. Until unspilt tea still Tastes good. Yes. Okay. Good. Good. Let's see. Other questions. Ella G. Jones is asking, how did you first meet Ty Dolla $ign and Mahalia in person? Well, I didn't meet them at the same time, so it's not one scenario I'm reporting here. I've never met Mahalia in my whole life because she agreed to sing on All I Need when quarantine already began. And even though she's just over there in the next road in the next... She's in London, I'm in London, she's in London. We still have never met in real life. I've never given her a hug and told her how much I respect her. But we've done that over FaceTime. So I haven't met Mahalia yet, but I've been familiar with her for a while, and I've met her virtually in the last year or so, I suppose, 6 months. Ty Dolla $ign, my bro, we've met a few times. Most of the time in Los Angeles. I did a session with him once in Los Angeles, and then he came to one of my shows one time, which is really, really crazy. And I did the show at the El Rey Theatre. You guys know about California? The El Rey is a really cool venue, and I did one of my last ever one-man shows there. And there's a little booth upstairs where it was the VIP booth. It was my mum, right, VIP. And then Ty Dolla $ign and Eric Whittiger and Quincy Jones and Hans Zimmer and Steve Vai were all hanging out. And it was really, really crazy. It was just crazy. And I looked up at the stage, I was like, whoa. And so that was the day I met Ty Dolla $ign. And I'm so stoked he sang on All I Need because he elevated it completely. As I said earlier, he's an amazing musician, truly. Truly. So there you go. But hopefully I'll be able to meet Mahalia soon once all of this this wonky, sort of uncertain era is over. Arch Azel. Who is your target audience with your art? You. You've made it to my art. That's really crazy and wonderful. I'm very grateful. And I don't really have a target audience other than that it's you and your friends and people. I don't know. I don't think about that too much, I suppose. I don't think about making music for people very often. I think about making music that I want to make often. And then when it reaches people, it's really cool and gratifying and inspiring. But yeah, I don't think I think too much about my target audience very much. So you decide. I don't know. What do you think my target audience is? Leave your answer in the comments. Thank you for your question. Excellent work. Okay. Sophie Corden, would you like to try on makeup? Not really. Would you? I mean, yeah, it has its place, doesn't it, makeup? If you want to kind of, I don't know, just makeup. You can do all sorts of things with makeup. Make sure you feel like this. But yeah, so no. I suppose I like it very much sometimes, but I don't really know. Yeah, that's right. Okay. How do you learn production? I'm trying to learn. It's difficult. Well, I just tried a bunch of things out until I liked what I heard, and then I did more of what I liked, and then I did less of what I liked as an experiment, and I liked it more than the thing I thought I liked. And then I made more of the thing I liked, and then I repeated the cycle. And I did a lot of listening to music and a lot of thinking about the music I was listening to, like, how do they do that? Or what is that sound? And I asked people that I respected what they thought the answers were, and sometimes they were wrong and sometimes they were right. Now, either way, the answers were of value. And then I just, I had logic, and I just sort of messed around in it for a long enough time to get myself a language. So this is my Google image search about ringtone lemurs, and this here is my Logic timeline. Each lemur is a different audio file, and it's like I have to look at where my audio files are and make decisions, based on my ears and things like that. And yeah, you learn to sculpt things as you go. Like things get easier the more you do things. Same as playing instruments. It's the same thing. Listen and try, and you can watch tutorials. The other day, I mentioned I made this dubstep drop. It's kind of dubstep, but it's more like a flume drop, like a 2020 drop. And I did it, and I watched a dubstep tutorial. It's like, how to be like Skrillex? And I do want to be like Skrillex, and I learned how to use Massive and Reactor, and they were so cool. And so I watched some tutorial. It was really fun. So you can always watch tutorials. Basically, if you want an answer these days, you can pretty much get the answer. It's more about like what you do with the answer that's interesting. It's not about, the answer's not interesting at all. It's the question and why you're posing it. That's what's interesting. So every time I make something, I'm posing a question, because that's what makes it interesting. It's not like, and here's the answer. It's like, what happens if I do this? And then the answer is in the learning that I do. A lot of that is unconscious learning too, but that's okay. Okay. I'm going to do a deep dive to the bottom of the pile. I can't tell if the questions are coming on the top or on the bottom. Melanin Collier is asking, would you donate your lashes to me? And then it's that emoji face, which is like I'm going to cry. And I mean, I don't mean to make the situation worse, but the answer is no, I can't, because I'm using them right now. I'm using them. They're protecting me from all of the dirt that's falling out of the sky. It's just collecting on my eye, and then I eat it later on. I'm using them. You can't have my eyelashes. It's just an unreasonable request. Please. Daria is asking, wig? And I'm gonna translate that question as, are you wearing a wig? And then the answer is, no, I'm not. Though I wish I was, but sometimes. But no, this is my hair. Look. So, let's see that. Yeah, it's my actual hair. Sometimes it sticks up. Sometimes it sticks down. But okay. That's fine. It's all good. My Hogwarts house. I'm in Gryffindor because I'm very brave. And very brave and strong. Kind of like Harry Potter, I suppose. I'm really good at duels, and I know spells like Tarantallegra and stuff like that. I know niche spells too, but most of I've got a good heart. I've got a good heart, so I feel like Gryffindor. I'm not I'm not a Ravenclaw. I don't think I work hard enough. I'm not Hufflepuff. I think I suppose I could be Slytherin. But I don't think I'm Slytherin. I'm quite good. Quite a good intentioned person. I'm quite trustworthy, and at least I think so. Yeah. Everyone wants to see the Grammy Awards. I don't know why you want to see them that much. I'll only show them to you for a second. Here they are. They all have different notes. Oh, I didn't mean to hit the gong. Oh, that was muted against the... So there you go. 4 Grammys, and they're just little things. That's all it is, just a thing. And they live on my Wurlitzer. They don't always live on my Wurlitzer, but yeah, they do. They do today. So yeah, voila. So it's surreal. It's quite surreal, Grammys. It's nice though, but it's just surreal at the same time. Yeah, I might well make a song with my Grammy Awards. Funny you should say that. In fact, I've often recorded them because they're like a go-go bells, but they're slightly more colourful and they sound quite rare. Yeah, there's a song on my new album Jesse Volume 3 with Tori Kelly, and if you didn't know that, then feel free to just freak out for a second. But yeah, on that song I played my Grammy, and I reversed it. It was like, and then it was like, and it was a really cool sound. That's one of my favourite songs on the album. I can't wait for you to hear that one. Tori Kelly song coming up. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of good questions. Lot of good questions. Haley Urbo. If taco innards represented your soul, what would they be? Well, I don't really know because they don't represent my soul, so I don't know what they would be. I also only really fairly recently came into contact with tacos. Sorry, but you know, I'm from the UK, and we don't really do Mexican, or you know, it's not a vibe. It's not as much of a vibe as it is, for example, on the West Coast. So I don't know if I'm really equipped to answer this question properly. So tomatoes. I find tomatoes fascinating. Very, very good. Right. I walk _ God is asking, are you even human? I guess I feel pretty human. I do feel pretty human. Sometimes I'm dreaming and then I'm not even human. But when I'm awake, I'm pretty human. Now, I often see this comment on my posts. It's like, Jacob's not human. It's like, I am. I am human. I work really hard, but I'm human because I have to go to sleep at the end of the day and drink water. And humans are hydrated. I'm pretty hydrated. Yeah, humans go up and down. I go up and down. That's the good stuff. Yeah, and that's another one I see a lot is this: do you sleep? Do you even sleep? Question. Yeah, if I get like under 8 hours sleep, I really don't feel very good. So I tend to sleep a lot, much as I can, and it feels good. Feels good. Yeah. Oh. Nin 0 Tava is asking, who's your favorite classical composer? I've got a few. I mentioned some of them already, but I really like Benjamin Britten. He's one of my absolute favorites, and I also really like Ravel and Debussy for their harmony a lot. And I like Bach. For me, Bach is he's like the dude. He's like the main. He's like the OG guy. I like William Byrd a lot, and I do like Messiaen, and I do like Bartok, and I like Thomas Addis is one of the most outrageously talented composers who's alive right now, and I also like Jonathan Dove, who's also alive right now. He's actually a friend of mine. I like Stockhausen. There's all sorts. You can do deep dives into classical composers as you wish, but I find the gap between harmony that was understood by the world and not understood by the world, like at the end of the Romantic era, at the end of the 1800s, it's just an unbelievable period of time. And you had like people like Ravel and Debussy being like, did you know that this was possible? And it was like some impressionistic chord. And then after harmony ended in classical music, as in like traditional harmony ended, a lot of interesting things happened. And you had people doing 12-tone music, and then you had people doing avant-garde, strange other things. And then you had people doing neo versions of styles, like Stravinsky with his neo-Russian period, where he was being over-the-top Russian kind of neoclassical thing, which is like reminiscent of an old era, but with added spices like cumin and chives and stuff. But I find the most interesting composers for me in the last century were the people who weren't like, I'm done with harmony, let's stop advancing it, and weren't saying, let's do an impression of something. They were just keeping on developing. So Britten, for example, is one of those composers who didn't then go and imitate a bunch of older composers, nor did he forget chords and gravity and tonality and stuff in a traditional sense. But he was very interested by folk music. So I really like Britten because he's so well researched and he's so tender and so sensitive and so comfortable with being on the edge of all the dissonances. I think that's absolutely extraordinary. And I sang in one of his operas as a boy called The Turn of the Screw, the opera. Check it out. It's heavy. Amazing music. And I know every note. It's like that piece of music was more important for me than like almost every other music in the entire world. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So now we're going to answer more questions. That's what we're going to do. And you can ask your own question in the question section. Here's a good one. Fred _. Can you get Billie Eilish to follow me? No, I can't. I can't do that. Billie Eilish doesn't even follow me. I don't know Billie Eilish. So I have no power to do that. I would recommend doing something very, very innovative and honest and hopefully it works. I'm rooting for you very much. What is your sleeping schedule? The Clough is asking this. Well, as I kind of partially just described, traditionally, if I'm working really hard on music, I will wake up at about like 2:45 p.m. and I'll go to bed about 5:45 a.m. That's what will happen. But most recently, I've been trying to get up earlier. Like I've been waking up about 10 or 11 a.m., going to bed at about like 1 or 2 a.m. That feels good. I'd recommend, this is good. I like this new thing because I feel fresh and I feel like I'm able to do work. But I am really like a night owl. I think it's just like a phase, just going through a phase of, getting up early. Because it's also nice to see my family. My family all live during the day, and if I live during the night, I don't get to see them. So it's nice to see them in the day time. Yes. Okay. All right. Here's a question from Greasy G, 020, and the question is: the letter R, you ambidextrous? And the answer to the question is not really with writing, but I am ambidextrous with drumming, in the sense that I can do, as in I can do like, and that's kind of equally comfortable for me, right? And you could do like these kinds of exercises to get the comfort level good. Yeah? But I was naturally left-handed first with drumming, right? That's the one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I changed to be right-handed because I realised that when you're playing drums the right way around, if you start your fills with your right hand, then it feels more comfortable. Yeah, it kind of opens out your playing. Because if you get like left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, then you have to like end on the wrong side. So like that works better, right? So that's why I got good at that one. I like made a decision to do it. So yeah, to a point, I guess I am. Yeah. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Ooh. I love how varied these questions are. Ooh. Okay. Heavy. Francis Cogrico is asking, what's your conception of harmony? Personally, I think it's a space. Intervals of distance between notes isn't okay, and that's the end of what I can see of the question. Well, I think harmony is a language, and I also think that it's about relationships. And so I think that harmony is just a description, a study into the relationships between sounds. And with a language, you can make tension, you can release it, which is nice. And you can... you can create expectation and you can burst expectation. You can lead people one way and send them another. But harmony is just, it's like the fabric of multifaceted sound under your control. If you're a harmonist, then that's what you do. But I like your idea of it being a space. I think it does describe space to a point. I'm down with that. I can get jiggy with that for sure. I appreciate the question. Here's a tricky one. TKN12, what happens after? Well, I suppose the first part of the answer to this question is after what? And then the second part of the question is yes. I think the answer is probably yes. I think it's probably yes. But it is hard to tell. I mean, it's since the whole incident with the, when the thing went in and you had to pull, yeah. You kind of, and then, it's like, but that wasn't the same. It wasn't, because he wasn't even there. So it's not. It was all along. It didn't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make it. So I hope that's clear. But I don't claim to. I think it's yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand the question. Yeah. Try again. Once again, Arant Gazalkarodiemsum. It's quite difficult to pronounce your name. Are we alone in the universe? Well, we are the universe, aren't we? We're all symptoms of the universe. As Alan Watts likes to say, an apple tree apples. That's what it does. It apples, and then the world, this planet, peoples. That's the verb, and we're kind of symptoms of the universe. So I don't think we're in the universe really. I think we basically are. It's the same. It's the same shit. This is the same. This is the whole world. This is what we're the. And so I think that a lot of people have trouble realizing that. But you're basically the entire. I don't mean to brag on your behalf, but you are the whole universe. And I mean, the universe is. I don't know. I guess the question is the universe alone? And I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But we, as the universe, we're all the same. I think that's quite clear to me. All human beings are basically the same as each other. There's no difference. The difference is it's like a helpful, or well, very unhelpful, but it's a convenient structure that you can erect a structure of like this is this and this is another thing. That's not what's going on. Because you're basically seeing your own, you're seeing your own life in everything. I could say I'm looking at a screen with lemurs on it, but actually I'm not really. I'm looking at a piece of plastic. I can perceive lemurs. I'm the lemur perceiver. And I find that amazing. I think that's what makes people interesting, is that they can perceive things. But perceived things aren't, they're not always real. Sometimes people take perceptions too seriously. Anyway, I would say that, yeah, the answer to that question is that I think I've already answered it, I suppose. Yeah. Hey, thanks for sticking around for this lengthy period of time. It's so nice to do this. A.D.C.C.R. Boom, 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 boom. Is asking favourite chips/crisps, and I appreciate the translation from crisps, from chips to crisps, because in the UK we call them crisps. In the US they're called chips. But if you say, Jacob, do you want some chips? Then I will be like, yes, yeah, I do want some chips, and I will want fries, not crisps. Just so you know, give me some fries. I miss fries a lot. Can't make fries at home in quarantine, can you? It's not easy. I miss like filthy, greasy fries. Really, I do miss fries. Favourite chips/crisps? I'm so hungry. Favourite chips/crisps? Well, I like salt and vinegar, and I like prawn cocktail, and I don't like cheese and onion that much, but I do like smoky bacon. And my favourite crisps of all time are Sensations crisps. Sensations brand, they're a UK brand, and they make chicken and thyme with rosemary. So good. Oh, man. So yeah, basically that's what I'm talking about today. That's yeah. That's the thing. Let me scroll up a little bit. Keep these questions. Keep these questions coming. I'm having a ball. Oh. Well, this person has been so determined to get this question answered that he's asked it about 50 times. It's Nursisimov, or maybe .mov. Yeah, okay. Jacob, do you know that you are my dad? Well, I didn't know that, but now I do know that, and I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know, because it's the kind of thing that I should know, isn't it? I should know this. Yeah. Hope you're doing good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Guys are giving some difficult Off the Wall or Thriller album of MJ. I mean, I'm going to say Off the Wall, because I think Off the Wall you could feel him discovering more. I think Thriller was when he discovered, and Off the Wall was when he was still discovering. So I like that tension. I like feeling like he was figuring it out as he went along more than Thriller. Thrillers, I mean, they're both amazing. I can't answer this question. It's just not fair. I love both. Also, shout out to Quincy Jones, producer of the albums. My boy, right there. It's my boy. Well, a lot of Harry Potter questions are coming in still. Yeah, I've answered a lot of Harry Potter questions. Play Hideaway Blindfolded. I'll try. I don't have a blindfold, but I do have I have a sweater. Like I promise you, I cannot see anything right now. So I'm going to play Hideaway. Oh, I got the note right. Okay. Take me anywhere you want to go. You. Oh my God. You know that my love is strong in my hideaway. There you go. I did it. I did it. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. I wanted a whole sound check blindfolded in Aspen. I went to Aspen to do a show. You guys live in Aspen? And I did the whole sound check blindfolded. But that was the sound check with the one man show. I had multiple instruments in a circle, and I was going around playing. It was really funny. I didn't do it very well. I flopped. But yeah, blindfolded is good. I find myself not looking at the piano very much at all when I play. I can kind of feel my way around it to a point. But thank you for that question, and I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad. Yeah. Well, Jacob Douglas saying, "What are you doing later?" Well, later I might watch a film, because my mum said she want to watch a film, so I might do that. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at the comments now. Really. Oh. When you think milk, what chord do you think of? I don't know. F major. Wow. What's your favourite inversion of chords? First, second, or third? Well, second. Second is nice. I like second. What Stevie song did I sing at Becca's wedding? I think I sang You and I. Are you growing a beard? My beard is growing me at this point. Ever been to space? Exclamation mark. Yeah. What's a good way to escape from music? By being music itself. Can I interview you? Well, you're interviewing me right now. Are you a gamer? If so, what is your favourite? I like Zelda, Wind Waker. How do you keep thin? I need some tips. Wow, run around, I suppose, a lot. What does water sound like to you? Okay. What's your single favourite song? I like Hot Problems. I don't know, come up with the artist is though. Jacob Jollier? The answer is yes. My beard is growing me. I already said that was my idea. I said that one before. Tesco, same as with Morrison's. Tesco's. How do you choose your musician? You mean in my band? Well, if I like them a lot and I think that I could learn from them, then I'll put them in my band. This is fast moving. Favourite food? Chips, but like my kind of chips that I like, not your kind of chips. Do I meditate? Not really, but I do create music, which is the same a lot of the time. Opinions on chocolate. I didn't really have chocolate much till I was about 13 years old for some reason, but I like it a lot. I like it. I like it a bit. I like it. Okay. Well, I collaborate with the Bulgarian State Television Female Choir. I hope so. Absolutely extraordinary musicians. Fave dessert. Oh no, fave dessert. Oh, I was just suddenly favorite dessert. I like meringue. I also like lemon, so lemon meringue pie. How much do you practice? I don't really do very much practice, but I do a lot of playing and creating. I think that's how I practice most. Can you borrow a Grammy? But you don't know where I live, so we couldn't exchange it in quarantine. Collaborate with Boris? If you mean Boris Johnson, then the answer is no. How do you like to play at Tiny Desk? It was a wonderful experience, and I bought a little NPR thing, which is on my desk, so I feel like I'm the Tiny Desk man. Favourite philosopher? I like Alan Watts, but I know he's not one of the OGs. Is cereal a soup? Cereal is a soup. You have to stop. You're already over an hour, you're too sweet. That's so I'm quite confused by that question. If I were... This is now going quite fast. Hello from California. Hello from London. Do you think in functional harmony when you compose? I don't think harmony needs to be functional, but I guess I think in harmony. Collaborate with Billie. I assume you mean Billie Eilish, and I would not be averse to that. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes. Yeah. Any more collabs with the guy who sings In My Bones? I've got her name. Her name is Kimbra, and yes, I'm sure there will be other collaborations with Kimbra at some point down the line. Is there any footage of you working with Ty Dolla $ign for this last song? Not that you know of. Wow, this is pretty crazy. Favorite VST or mix plugin effect in Logic? Space Designer. Oh, actually, the compression. How blue are Chris Martin's eyes? They're really blue. I'm not going to lie. Insane eyes Chris Martin has. Hello from Hawaii. Hello from London. Wrong. That's not a question. You should collaborate with Charlie Puth. Yes, stay tuned. Let's see. Any music book suggestions? Toby Alone. Toby Alone. It's a nice book. What's All You Need? Chips? I'm so sad Corona cancelled the Atlanta show. I still can't see wherever you can return. Well, I hope I can return very soon. That would be wonderful. Are you an animal lover? I absolutely am. Do I know the Ezra Collective? I do. They're very awesome. What's your favourite instrument to write your songs? The voice, I think, is my favourite instrument, but I like the piano too, and the bass and the drums. Would you live on Mars? I would not live on Mars today, or maybe probably not tomorrow either. South Africa. How long till you come here? Hopefully I'll be there next year if everything goes to plan. I'm glad to hear Wind Waker is your favourite Zelda. Favourite Zelda track? I don't think I know the soundtrack off by heart well enough as well as you do. Sorry. What does Jesse mean? Well, Jesse is a bit like my name. JC is my name. Woodwinds, question mark? Yes. Are orchestras going to exist post-pandemic? I don't know, but I hope so. Hobby other than instrument? Voice. Food? Coffee or tea? Tea all the way. I never drink any coffee. I go absolutely bananas. You would not like to see me at Instagram live stream when I've had coffee. You would freak out. I would be freaking out. Do I like Sri Lanka? I love Sri Lanka, but I've never been there. I'd like to visit one day. Hello from Dominican Republic. Hello from London. Treble or bass? Bass. That's true. Favourite musical, if you have one? Ooh, that's a tricky one. I thought Billy Elliot was great when I saw that one. That was really good. Brass or woodwinds? Can't say brass or woodwinds, but probably brass. But I don't know. Overtones? Question mark. Everything has overtones. Collab with Tom Misch. I would like to do that. Are you vegan? I'm not vegan. What does love feel like? I'll have to let you know later. Hello from Denmark. Hello from London. How did you learn to play any of your instruments? Determined impatience and love. Have I surfed? I have surfed. I enjoy surfing. John Coltrane and Miles Davis. Unanswerable question. Trumpet question mark. The answer is yes. Are you friends with Adam Neely? I've never met Adam Neely, but we're friends online, and I think he's fantastic. I cannot sing the lick. Where do I write lyrics? Phone or paper? Both, actually. Collab with BTS, I would be down. Come to Mexico? I'd love to come to Mexico. Wow, this is crazy. How do I deal with camera pressure? By assuming that it's very dangerous. Favourite Coldplay album? Oh, I don't know. I like the last one that just came out. How do you advise to practice an instrument? Sing with it. Make something with it. Play it on stage. Favourite colour? I like green a lot. Herbie or Keith? You can't say things like that. I mean, young Keith is extremely important to me, but Herbie is just like the OG. And he's also my main boy, so like I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying. Herbie's the man. How do you deal with so much praise? I don't think I really believe a lot of it, but I think that it's nice at the same time. Favourite weather? I like it when it rains. I like it when it's sunny as well, and snow. Wow. Do I like Radiohead? I do. Ever been in a choir? Increasingly so. Favourite instrument? I think I've answered that one already. I like the voice a lot. Have I ever dived in the sea? I have done that, yeah. I went scuba diving in Reunion Island once. It was lovely. Can I sing subharmonics? Probably not. How do you stay positive about life? By living it. Do you like trotters and beans? I don't know what trotters are, but I assume that I do like it because I do like beans. Do I like paint? Or do I paint? Not really, but I do like painting with sound. Favourite Prince song is Head, of course. Did I go to music school? I didn't really go to music school properly, but I did visit there for a little period of time. Steel pan question mark, the answer is yes. Favourite country I've been to? I love Reunion Island today for some reason, but I love all countries equally. Do you know, Jacob, I dreamt about you the other day and you didn't want to make a picture with me. Well, I'm sorry. I do remember that, but you caught me at a bad moment. Have you ever eaten rice and beans? Yes. Favourite psychedelic? Life, I suppose. Hello from Toronto, hello from London. When Israel? Very soon, I hope. D half sharp, the answer is yes. Hi from Ireland, hello from London. It's nice to see you. Favourite food besides fries? Favourite food besides fries? Well, fish to go with it. Fish and chips. You know what I'm saying? I'm British. I'm just going to say that about. Why do I make music? Because I'm alive and I like music. Amen. Amen back to you. Will you be my friend? We both have harmony? Yeah. Yes, that's fine. That sounds good. Hi from Ecuador. Hello from Mississippi. What's up, you guys? Hello, Jason. Jason's here. Fantastic. How's your mum? My mum is very good. Thank you for asking. She's just got upstairs, probably getting into her pajamas. Have you seen my Cyril video containing a plastic bag costume? I have not, but I will check it out later, I hope. Hello from Turkey. What's up? Collab with Gollum. I haven't got Gollum's email address, but I assume it's at Yahoo. Sing A flat. Okay. Can a human not make music? I think humans cannot make music, but it's hard. Best advice you've ever been given: make a life, not a living. Who is your most non-musical inspiration? Probably my mother, though she's also musical. Jacob's Ladder, question mark? The answer is yes. This is fun. I'm out of breath. Spoon or fork? Spoon. What's your vocal range? I answered that earlier. I think it's about, I can't remember. It's probably changed now. Favorite human? You? How long you play music per day? I don't know. I suppose I play music quite a lot. Probably a lot of the 5 days. Okay. Jam session? Question mark. Sure. Where? You want to meet in the secret place? See you there. Fork or threek? I don't know what a threek is. Please enlighten me. Gelato or sorbet? Mixture. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you are so inspiring. That's very kind. Thank you. So are you. Do you enjoy silences and music? Very much so. Very much so. What do you do when you're not playing music? I'm probably asleep. E major 7 over B flat. That works. You should narrate all audiobooks. I don't have enough time, but thank you. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The chegg. Can you explain the part from You and I where you say I only pray? Yeah, it's like a massive G major 7 Lydian chord over F sharp, and then it's like an A flat major 7 chord over F sharp, which is like a G. It's like a F sharp super Lydian chord, and it's cool. And I played that to Herbie Hancock once, for him, and he'd never heard it before, and he like had froth around his mouth on that chord. It's true. And I love Herbie. Okay. Have I used Ableton? I have used Ableton for my one-man show. It's what ran all the loops, but I haven't used it for production very much. Mix or master? I don't think there's really a decision to be made between those two because they're both important. How did you and Daniel play live in sync with no latency? Well, I have this psychological hack for Instagram latency where I'm aware of 2 planes of time at once, and I keep in time with myself, but I listen and respond to their idea of time, which is slightly after mine. And so I compensate for the latency in my mind, and then it comes out normally close to in sync. It's never perfectly in sync, but that's what I like. That's what I do. I like those kinds of challenges. This is the kind of thing I live for. And I hope to do more of those very soon. In fact, there's one on Sunday, you'll be pleased to know, with a Thai dollar sign. See you there. Well, this could literally go on forever. I'll do like about 5 more minutes of this, and then I'll let you keep on going with your day. So if you have any questions for me, it's literally now or never, right? May I please have your harpeggi? I need my arpeggio. I need that to make music for myself. But you should get a harpeggi. The arpeggios are good. The best meal you've had ever? Chips? Jazz or funk? Well, I don't see why both is not a feasible option there. Collab with Esperanza Spalding. I'd love to do that. That sounds good. She's brilliant. I'd love to do that. How do I approach key center modulations? Any trips and tricks? Think about triads and try moving one note at a time in them. That's always a nice thing. How is my IG live not limited to 1 hour? I don't understand. I don't know why, but I appreciate that. Best book? Question mark. The book that you haven't written yet that you need to write that I will read and love. You have just made my whole week. Well, that's really nice. I'm glad that you think so. How is your hair so amazing? I don't think my hair is that amazing, but I appreciate the compliment. Will I ever visit Pluto? I've been to Pluto, but I didn't like it. So probably not again. Thoughts on the Minecraft soundtrack? I've never played Minecraft. What's it like? I've seen videos of it. It's quite appealing. It's quite nice. Greetings from Chile. What's up? Do I have neighbours on the side of the walls? I have neighbours on one side of my house, and they're very, very patient and great. Thank you for being you. Well, that's not my fault, but Thank you for being you. Vortex Math, question mark? Vortex Math, I don't know what that is, but I appreciate it massively. Massively. Percussion or woodwind. You can't pit these orchestral sections against me. Don't take me for one of those percussion. Do I like potatoes? Haven't you heard me talking about fries this whole live stream? Fleet Foxes. The answer is yes. I do love Fleet Foxes. There's a beautiful Fleet Foxes song that goes,
How in the sky do the lights on? How is the earth moving round the sun? Floated in a vacuum with no purpose, not a one. How in the sky do the lights on?
It's one of my favourite Fleet Foxes songs. Gorgeous. I can't remember what it's called. It might be called Quiet. No, I can't remember what it's called. But Fleet Foxes, I'm here for it. Love it. Love it. Okay, guys. Last few minutes, and then I'm going to have some food. Right. Did I have pets as a kid? I did. I had 2 cats as a kid. I'm still a kid. I no longer have 2 cats, but that was a good time. Is water wet? Grin face. I assume so, yes. Yes. Do I speak Chinese? I do not speak Chinese, but I hope that you do. Can you make something up? Squiddly diddly. There you go. Happy birthday to Lazaro. Lazaro, happy birthday. Worst book? The one that you've written that I hated when I read it. But you haven't written it yet, so you don't need to write it then. Thoughts on bananas? Love it. Love bananas. Right, I'm going to do 5 more questions. And it goes like this. I'm so in love with you. That's not a question, so I'll skip it, but I appreciate that somehow. What is death? It's life's natural conclusion. 4 or 3? I think 3 is more interesting than 4. 3 is the secret weapon to all things. Love advice. You will save yourself so much time if you are yourself and you're in love. Because you being you is just phenomenal. You're so interesting. So you should just keep on. You should just be yourself. Because there's no point. You can keep trying to pretend, but just be yourself. And what will come will come. Okay. I'm going to go now. That was really nice. Thank you for being here. 3,000 of you hung out with me for the last, what's it been? Hour and a half? Yeah. That's pretty wild. Thank you very much for being here. Let's do this again sometime, all right? Sounds good. All right. Have a lovely rest of your day. And go grab some food if you want to. Have some water too. And from London, I'm sending you all the vibes, all the good vibes. I'll catch you later. All right. See you soon.